Alrighty, hello everybody. I am a lot a bit better. Um, cool. Ended up going for a nice walk, nice dumbbell walk. Feeling a little bit clearer, so that's nice. Okay, so we're working on the, whew, some sort of a slideshow-based cutscene thing as a nice change of pace. We're gonna see about. Let's take a look at what the dialogue is right now. Game container. Oh, we don't need the game container anymore. It's not a thing that is needed. Just get rid of that. I think it's this one. Nope, that's the one that's open. Test arena. Okay, it's not the test arena. We're just gonna open that for the sake of fixing dependencies. Nice. Cool. All right. Trial course. Oh boy, we have like at least 4, maybe 5 areas, levels where we start the game, start the dialogue. Ooh, this is the area where we come out into the clearing. Lost in the mountains. Ooh, this is a pretty big maze. Far Island 2. Nope, that's the continuation. Then Far Island. Yeah, there we go. And then this one here is destroyed version of that, so I guess we can get rid of that. Far Spawn, go to hell. Far Island, here we are. Okay. We can actually back up the stuff that we made in the previous session. Cool. Örtegüreise. Made 2 levels. Okay. So let's take a listen to what we have here. Oh yes. Should probably disable visible collision shapes. Run this scene. The audio is a little crackly. I think I might restart Godot. It's either that or I gotta unplug and replug the audio interface. It's a really old one. RTAG Rise. Yeah. Let's run this again.
Oh!
Okay.
Ugh. For fuck's sakes, man! I would have gotten it working!
Yeah, like hell you would. The thing was clearly busted. I did us a favor.
Oh yeah, great favor! It spit us out in the middle of God knows where, and there's not a phase gate in sight, all because you decided to take things into your own damn hands. And this isn't even the first time you pulled this shit either.
At least we're out. As much as I would have loved sticking around to feel my face melt off, we've got more pressing matters, don't we?
For God's sakes. Fine, let's get moving. Don't forget the briefcase.
Relax. I gotta write.
What do you mean, Where's the briefcase?
I just had it on me. I was holding it when we went through the gate.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not.
Great! After all that shit we've gone through.
Well, how was I supposed to know?
This is unbelievable!
Yes, I got it. Thank you very much. You got any actual suggestions?
Oh, now you want my input? I don't know what we're gonna do.
We gotta go back and hope to find another one.
There is no other one.
Okay, so What now?
Just let me think. We've wasted enough time. We've got to go back to camp. At least there we can help defend it. But first, we have to figure out where we are.
Okay. So this is what we have. I think there have been some revisions to the dialogue. We haven't recorded them yet, but I think that they're there. There's a couple of iffy moments in the dialogue that popped open to me. Okay, so this is it. Now the question is the dialogue in the same order? Well, actually, you know what? What we can do is this. We can go to the conceptbay.net and we can go to tools, dialogi, and we can just import the dialogue that we have there right now. So we go engine, dialogue. Wait, why are we in Dreadtails? What the heck? It's whoops. Okay, let's go engine, dialogues, demo, character dialogues. Okay, transient dialogue. I think this is it. And then we have the intro, powers running, overheat. What are you doing? Get ready. Phase out, lost. This one. This is it. Okay, so we have our dialogue set up this way. Cool. All right. Man, I really need to implement some sort of a middle click drag in here. Okay. And also like scroll wheel. Scroll wheel zoom in and out. Okay, so how are we doing this? Are we doing this comic style? Well, okay, if we're doing this comic style, there's challenges that we have to confront, which is like you have to pan around the various comic strip panels. You have to align everything, rotate, some kind of synchronize. It's a bit much. No, it's a bit much. Also, for some reason, I don't see the audio for this dialogue listed here. Actually, voice sound key. There we go. That's the one. This is like an extra audio. Okay. Yeah, once the fields have data populated into them, you don't see the placeholders, so it's kind of hard to see what is what. Okay. So, the question is, how are we... How are we going to synchronize this and the cards? It kind of makes me want to do cutscenes as makes me want to do cutscenes as actual animation player synchronized cutscenes. It might make subtitles and dialogues a little bit trickier to handle. Technically, we could create a dictionary which contains the key of the dialogue and the key of the message, and if there is a card existing there, then it will pop up with the card, a single card. So it's not a comic strip, it's a single card, single image with the actors and illustrations already in place. And then as it goes on, Well, yeah, is it if it goes on, does it just like wait for another card to appear? Or does it disappear? Part of me thinks that maybe I should add function calls to these dialogue boxes. I was under the impression I already had function calls, but no, apparently that is a separate dialogue box. Interesting. Well, I could place a function call node after each one of these, but that's a lot of work. Okay. So let me double check something. So we have a, what do we have? Dialog change, call method. Method to call. So call space, I think it would be call underscore method. Let me double check the, what is it, the narrator? Oh, the narrator runs old code, doesn't it? Yeah, this isn't the dialog code. Dialog later, trigger dialog narrator. Master node, trigger dialog zone has save key. Master node trigger dialog zones append. And then the narrator has a start dialog, but that could once again be old code. Here we have a function. Drop last pipes. Right. Okay. Let's take a look at master whoops. Master node. I don't think I called it master node here. Autoload, narrator, dialog layer. Nope, that's just a static node for dialog placement. UI. Okay, let's go here. Master object. Nope. Interesting. Okay, I am actually now kind of confused. It has been a while. Let's see, so we have this cutscene camera. Okay. Let's see. We have single message dialog layer. It's a UI. So we talk to an element called UI. And then we have a single message here, which is, there we go. So whatever talks to the single message is going to be responsible for dialog handling. What do we got here? Generic NPC. Okay. Generic NPC. Dialog has current dialog. I think method, call method. Okay. So it's looking for call method. Message content has a key of method string. Method to call, and it calls this method. But it doesn't have parameters, does it? Oh, it does have parameters. So this is how we call it. Calls method on the object and returns the result. This method supports variable number of arguments, so parameters can be passed in comma-separated lists. Awesome. That is beautiful. So we could just supply multiple values after it. Okay, so if that's the case, then maybe if I have, let's say, message or auto message technically, we could include an additional field here for call method. But call method would have to include two things. You know what? Maybe call method should be included in every single one of these elements. It seems like... Okay. It seems like that's exactly what needs to be done here. Okay. Can we pull this up, please and thank you? There we go. Right. Now, in order for me to do this, I have to quickly do a modification to the website. Okay. Let me see if I can do this quickly enough. Now, of course, this is web related, so just have it on a separate screen. Okay, so we got tools, dialogue, dialogi, and then so we have sound key. This is this always present? It might always be present. Yeah, it is. It is always present. Quest give, there's a sound key. Okay, so we can just place it right after the sound key. Now, what is this going to be? It's going to be 2 input events. Method to call. All right, let's see. So, new dialog, create method. Okay, so this is what we have. Method to call, argument, argument, argument. So I can do 3, 4, 2, 1, and then this, and then also like a piece of text. So it's kind of a quick and simple solution. This is where we do an argument, or a method to call, and then the rest of it is pretty straightforward. I might want to give it a little bit of styling. I'm going to call it method to call box. Okay. And hello. Hello indeed. Okay. So we're going to do background color. I guess we can find just something to work with. Okay, let's make sure we reload. Okay, so there you go. Now, let me see if I can give it just a little bit of extra space. 3 pixels. Border radius of 5 pixels. Or 10, is it? Nah, 5 is the default by the looks of it. Okay, and of course this is a little bit too strong. Method to call. Okay, cool. So these are the parameters. Now, I don't think that it saves this data right now. But if I remember correctly, saving the data should be as simple as just adding a like a key, like key argument. So this is going to be method to call, and then method arguments. Okay, and I think that should be it. So if I go new dialog 111, place it here. So let's say the method is called display card. Sure, and the argument is to, that's going to be the card to display, for example. Or we can do, let's say, trial 1. Okay, trial1.png, or just trial 1. Okay, so let's say character root, and then I guess we'll just do another test here. This is going to be the key it leads to. And then, aha. And then, woo. Okay, perfect. Save it. Export it. Test. Test. Okay. And now, if we reload it, import. Downloads. Test. Nope. Okay, so it didn't save this. Why not? Why not? Maybe it's because I need to... Did I save it? I did save it. Okay, let's save this and then export. Hard reload. No, it did not save it. Okay, so this saved. And I remember programming it in such a way where it shouldn't require any additional coding. Placeholder class key. Key char. Okay, does this have a key? Key method to call. Hold on a second. Let me double check something. Maybe it does save it. Let's see. Let's open up test. Let's prettify this. Okay, so start, message type, sound editor position, audio for messages. Woo. Doesn't have the other data. Maybe it's because I nested it into a little subdiv. Interesting. Interesting. So does that mean that if I don't place them into a separate div, it will work? Let's try it. So, new dialog. Okay, so method to call. And then to, there we go. Save it, export. And then reload, import. Okay. No. Well, now, that's not fun. And I bet it didn't actually save it either. Whoops. Audio message, message type, sound editor. Yeah. So this doesn't actually save the information whatsoever. Fascinating. Sound key. I was under impression just by having key would automatically make it save and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna have to double check the JavaScript code then. What's happening here? Okay, so if it's a type of message, message auto, or message random, we collect all the dynamic text data, collect all the audio sound data. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so I think we might actually have to quite literally store the audio data manually here. So, you know what? I'm gonna bring back the purple box formatting because it looks better, and since we have to program it separately, we might as well just keep it this way. It's a little long though. And we know that most dialog boxes won't have a method to call. So we're gonna see about making it much smaller. So min width 50 pixels. Interesting. So giving him min width doesn't actually make it resize. Changing the display type doesn't help. Actually, you know what? Maybe we're gonna do display grid. And then that's gonna make it display as a column. Like that. Method to call, argument, argument, argument. So this way it's not gonna be taking up too much space. Okay, and then, well, then we need to save the data. Save the method call data. Okay, which means we should be able to get the information. How do I identify it? It has a key of method to call, and then the other thing has a key of arguments. Okay. Good. So now that's for saving. And now we need to load this information. So if I were to reload this right now, make a new dialog, and then we're gonna do call method this. Okay. Now we're gonna save and export. Hello? Oh, we got an error. Cannot read property of null. Reading value. 545. That's what I just finished programming. Huh. It is an input. And the key is method to call. That is correct. Oh, I forgot to save the web page, which technically shouldn't matter. It was already there for quite a while now. Method 1, 2, 3. Save. Cannot read property of null. Reading value. Well, excuse me. Input key method to call. Why is that such a problem? Don't tell me that method to call has to be in quotations. No, don't need to import. Nope. Doesn't like it. Why does it not like it? We're getting message.div. Query selector. We're selecting an element. It's an input element that has a key of method to call. And it must have value. Why are you complaining? What do you not like? Am I going to have to give it a custom class? I don't have a problem with that, but... I'm going to call the class this method to call and this method args. Input with a class method, this method to call. Okay, new dialog. Okay, well now it's... No, it's still 5:45. And still complaining about this. Really? Really? That is weird. I'm gonna cancel logit. Oh man. Here I was thinking, yeah, this is gonna take just a few minutes. Okay, let's go over here. Method. Okay. So this, well, that's the reason. It's because it only, this is just the container for the message type specific elements. Whoops. Okay, so I guess I gotta query selector each message for this. That makes sense, which means I should be able to use the key argument instead of class selector. So this method, yeah, method to call, and then method args. I think that should work now. Well, printing it definitely helped. Boop. Method 1, 2, 3. Save. Oh. Well, it didn't complain about it. Export. There we go. Now, hypothetically, we shouldn't have it load, but it should at least be here. Method to call. There's the method name. It's got a space in it. Yep. And then method arguments. And we can split this into an array using the comma as a separator. That's fine. Cool. Okay. Well, at least that gives us something. Cool. So if I do this, it's not going to load it. But that's fine. It's not going to load it, but that is okay. We are going to find the place where we can load it up. Okay. Just gonna make sure that it loads. Okay, I sure hope this is the load function. Yep, load dialog. Perfect. Okay, so new message. Again, this tool wasn't really made with on the screen, so that's why there isn't really a point of me showing you what's happening on the JavaScript side. Okay, so we're doing each message. And I think that's it. I think this should load now. Hey, nice. Beautiful. All right, well, that works. It made the dialogues just a tiny bit more, well, large. I do need to make sure that there is a key present, so because all the dialogues might actually have an issue. That's the problem with like continuously updating and improving on the tool, is that you got to make it cross-compatible with older files. Okay, I think that should do it. And then if we do this, it does that. Well, which makes sense, because we've just finished saving that. But if we go to Artec Rise, Engine, Dialogues Demo, Character Dialogue, and we do Phase Out Lost. There we go. And it doesn't complain about anything, so that's good. Whew, okay. Well, we now have the ability to call a method. That's good. To be honest, kind of makes me think that maybe we should make this element collapsible. You know? If we do... There's a call method here. Instead of taking up 2 lines, it will take up 1 line, but it'll be collapsed. Should we do this in the name of keeping it compact? Maybe. Let's see. Let me see if I can maybe do something here. So by default, we're going to make the methods or the call method stuff not be displayed. Like this. But I am going to give it a an ability to expand it. So call method label. First of all, call method label will cause the cursor to become a pointer when we move our mouse over it. Like this. Okay. And then when we click on it, it's going to expand the inner contents. Okay. Okay, we're probably gonna have to use jQuery to make it be animated. It's kind of annoying to be looking at the blank screen instead of code, I know. But I'm too deep in it now. Each element, what is it? Slide down, or slide toggle, I suppose. Slide toggle 500 milliseconds. I think that is gonna work. I hope so. Yes, nice. Cool. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that when we load method to call, if there is data present, it is going to be populated. Okay. Just gonna make sure that it checks if the method to call argument is present, because if or the method to call thing is present, because it doesn't matter if the argument is present. If the method to call is not present, nothing should be working. Okay, so and I think that is all that needs to be done. So if we import the test dialog, there you go. Since there's data here, it's present. A new one, however, is not, so it's going to be collapsed. Nice. Of course, if we collapse it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that it's hidden. All right. That is good. So now, if I import, let's go back to Artag Rise, assets, nope, not assets, engine, dialogue, dialogues, load up, phase out lost. There we go. So everything's here. And then if we wanted to call a method, we can do so here. Alrighty, so that gives us the ability to say, yep, let's call a method for this message. And now that this is in here, we can make cards appear, or, well, literally we can make anything happen now when a particular dialog message is executed. Cool. Cool beans. Okay. Now we need the actual cards. Okay. Oh, man. I dread the amount of work this is going to take. Knowing how much work it took when I did the same thing for for Witch of Endor. Almost every one of these cards is basically like a separate image. Maybe except these two. Relax, I got it right. What do you mean R? Where's the briefcase? Maybe these 4 messages can be on one card. Hmm. I think this is where writing for comic books has a particular approach to it, where you're not supposed to have too many little blurts, little barks, so to speak, from characters that will warrant an entire panel. Okay. You know what? I think that's fine. I was kind of expecting that I would just go straight into making the panels, but I guess you know what? That is okay. I'll end it here and we'll come back to it and we'll make the actual panels. That's fine.